Welcome back to the lesson series on the RSA software. So far we've covered geometrical modeling. In case you've missed any of the lessons, you can check it out in the link above. In today's lesson, we're going to look at modeling the loads, particularly generating load combinations and load cases, especially for gravity loads. So let's get to it. Before we begin, we're going to learn how to generate groups based on the different elements we have in the model. This will allow us to easily select them and also to easily filter them out when you are assigning different load cases. So to do that, go to the object or member selection. Then I want to filter out the beams which are supporting the staircases. So let me just rotate and look at them. Since these beams are the same sections with the main beams, I want to remove them from, or rather segregate them from the main beams. So I'll select them, press Ctrl or Shift and hold just to select them. So done that, go to group and click this downward arrow to just place them here into the group section. Give them a color. I name them for example staircase beam or beams, like that. Accept. So whenever I would like to select them, I just click on this and this upward arrow, so I'll select only those beams. So I want to also group the main beams for the other beams, so I select all of them which are on the same section B1, then head to group, then in this group I subtract it. Now I only have the main beams selected, so I group them also. So instead of replace, I'm going to click on add, accept, just check it out, select it and bring it to the selection list. So as you can see, then I've deselected only the main beams with the main beams which are on the floor levels and selected. Good. So I go to the panels, so I change the type of object, go to panel, floor 150, but then it will be much easier for me to select them while they're here or while they're within the model space. So I want to select only the staircase slabs. make sure I've selected the right ones. So here I've selected the beam by mistake. So I press Ctrl and hold. So as you can see there, the mouse has a plus or minus. So in this case it's going to subtract it. I'm going to make sure I select the waste slab here. So I click on plus, no, Ctrl and hold, press it. Just make sure I've selected all of them. If you wish to confirm, after selecting, you can use this edit in new window, so it separates them from the entire model. So as you can see, then it generates a new window or a new view from here. So you've made sure you've selected them. Let's go ahead and group it. So we add it here. Just going to follow these colors. Going to write staircase slabs, add, like that. We'll exit. Done with this view for now. So I'm going to select the other slabs. Now to do that, notice that all these slabs have the same thickness, so we're going to select all of them and then filter out the staircase slabs. So to do that, select the section that you had selected or created for the entire slabs. Select all of them, then go to group, subtract out the staircase slabs. As you can see, then add a group. So call it floor slabs, then add, like that. So you can do this also for the columns, particularly if you wanted to separate them out, especially when you want to now perform different designs. You can do for external columns and internal columns. So let's just try that one out. So we go to members. Oh, I forgot one thing. I'm supposed to add the flat beams here. I can just do that. Good thing they're all just one section, so I can just select them, group them also. I know which color I've reached. Just pick this one. Flat beams, accept. So let's go and create those for columns. The last one. Then we go to now the load cases. So deselect everything. Select the column, add it. So for the column, we want to group it according to internal columns and external columns. You realize the internal columns are going to be within the interior structural grids, so we're going to filter them out. Do that, go to geometry. Once you've selected all of them, then you can even go to plan view, more easier, so that we can see the grids. So for the interior columns, I'm going to begin from grid 2 in the x-axis to grid 11 in the y-axis, from grid B to grid F. Of course, in the z-axis I keep it as that. Then I can decide to, if I say and, this is just to mean that two conditions have to be satisfied here. So these have to be columns of section C1 and also within this axis. So I click on and it filters out the external beams. So we only have the interior beams, or rather the interior columns. So go to group, add it. So I call them interior columns. Accept. Now select the exterior column is going to be much easier. So we select everything. Then now you can select all of it and then subtract out the interior columns. Then you have only the external columns selected, so you group them, change the color, give it a much more pronounced color, give it blue. Exterior columns like that. Then you're adding, accept. Now that we're done, let's go back to the view mode. So we just want to view how this thing looks like, or rather how the groupings are going to assist us. We're going to do that by activating those colors. So go to the view tab, then display, or you can just click VV. That's the keyboard shortcut. So we go to mark with colors, then we group them, so groups or legend by colors, then like that, then accept. So everything has been grouped. As you can see down here, we have a legend or a key to show us, particularly useful just to show us how the different elements exist within the model. So of course I won't be using these colors right now, it might be a bit confusing, especially when selecting. So I type VB once more, go to mark with colors, just want to mark it away. Then I can also activate for the stories like that. And if I wish to edit it, I can just go to the stories here. Like floor 1 is black in color, that's just a bit unusual. I can use a different color, let's say light green, like that. So let me just type VV again. Clear all of it out. So now let's go to the loading phase. To do that, go to the loading layout. So here we have 3 sections. The first section is for the model. The second one is a table, just to give us the data about the load types we've created. And then here is where we create the load cases. Then we also have other settings for now describing those load cases and assigning them. So let's begin. Begin by, of course, the dead loads. I like to write them in a particular way. So GK1, just call it self weight, then add it. So as you can see, it's added here. And usually the first dead load in Autodesk Robot is automatically assigned as the self weight of the structure, so that's a good thing. Next one, we move to the floor finishes. So I can just select this, use it as a template. So I'm double clicked on it. I'm going to write GK2, it's going to be 2, then call it floor finish, then add. Of course, for the floor finish we have to assign a value, because it won't be shown here till a value has been assigned and also the elements involved have been assigned. So in this case, I'm going to apply the floor finish on both the floor slabs and the staircase slabs. To do that, I'm going to define the load. I'm going to give it a value. It's going to be an area load. First of all, I'm going to give them a value of negative, just for on the z-axis, negative going down, 0.72 kilonewtons per meter squared or kilopascals. Then add it. Then now to assign the elements right here. So I go to the selection option. Now this is where the groups come in handy. So I just select I go to first determining which type of object, so it's panels. So I select floor slabs plus stack a slab. Then once that is done, I can just click on this point and it will populate it automatically. So I click on apply. So as you can see, the arrows here already. Let me just toggle this. So if you want to see the values, you can click on this dot value descriptions like that, and you can see. Let me just clear that. Move on to the next load. Go to the partition loads. So still here, you can use this as a template. Let's write it as 3. Then I add it. So for the partition loads, you can use line loads. Now this depends on the reference or the detail of the reference you've been provided with. Perhaps it has the positions for the line loads, rather for the partition walls, so you can perhaps follow those references. But in this case, I'm just going to give a typical area load on the floor slabs. So I deselect everything by just clicking on the model space. Perhaps I'll just begin by selecting the loads first, or rather the section for the slabs which I'll be assigning. So I go to panels, the group, only on the floor slabs, so I add them. Then I now define the partition load. I'm going to give it a value of 1.2. Go to surface, so minus 1.2. This depends on any value you wish to provide, so it's all up to you. Add it. So as you can see, automatically these values have been added here. Then I click on apply. As you can see, also you can also use this mouse to apply the loads. You can see there are some arrows which are added or perhaps attached to it, so you can move. When you identify a load, or rather a member or an object, you can just click on it and it will assign that load to that member. So I close, select everything by clicking on the model space. Move on to external wall loads. Now this one is going to be applied to the external beams, or rather the perimeter beams, especially for the first floor all the way to the 4th floor. For the roof floor, we won't be applying it. We have the parapet walls that will be on the perimeter of the perimeter beams, so we'll have to filter out. To do that, let's first create the load GK4. Load parapet, call them external, begin with external wall loads. So GK4, add them. This ones are going to be applied on the main beam, but in this case the main beams but not the roof beams. We have to filter out the roof beams. So we go to main beams, we add them. Then we go to geometry, we filter out the first floor or the roof floor. The roof floor, go to the Z axis. We want to filter out this floor, so we subtract like that. So only the beams from the 4th floor all the way down have been selected, only the main beams. So now we assign the load, we define it. In this case, I want to use a UDL of 7.74 kilotons per meter. So I go to member load, UDL. So I give it a value of minus 7.74 and add. Automatically it has populated the members, so apply. So it has been applied to those beams alone. So I close it, move again. Now to assign the parapet loads. I'm going to assign these loads on two types of beams. The beginning is going to be on the beams which are supporting the waist slab, or rather the landing slab of the staircase, and also the main beam, the top ones here. So to do that, first of all, let me just select them, perhaps manually, the top beams, because I want them to be for the outside perimeter. Selecting might be a bit easier. So you press Ctrl and hold, then just select them. Rotate the model. So once you've done that, you can go to the selection window. You just want to add the beams which are supporting the staircase. So you go to group, select them, add them, close it. So if you just check it out within the model to confirm whether you've selected them also, like that. So the parapet walls, GK 5, this is 5 also, then we add it. Then now we define the load, so I need to be half the value of the external wall loads, so that's 3.87. Then I add it, then I apply, like that. That's it. So close it. So we are done with the dead loads. We move on to the live loads. So we have floor imposed, staircase imposed, and also the roof imposed load. So we just change the nature to live. Then we can use this as a template. I change the values here to PQ. Then 1. Then we have floor imposed, live load 1. So we add it, deselect everything. So for the floor imposed, I want to add them on the floor slabs. I want to give a value of 3 kilonewtons per meter squared. So let me just create the load first. So -3, add it, then I select the floor slabs. In this case, I won't be selecting the roof slab, so I'm going to show it's a panel, floor slabs, and I go to geometry. The floor slabs are within, so I can pick from this point to the 4th floor. So I say and, that deselects the roof, like that. I select it here, just click on this space to automatically add it. So I apply, like that. So you can see our table is being populated also. Then it's telling us the values and also the list of members and also the type of load. So we close that, close this also. So I move on to the next one. That is the staircase imposed load. Like that. I add it. The staircase, I'm going to load it more, give it around 4. So -4. Then I add. Then to select them, going to be quite easy. Simple as that. Apply. Nice. So let's make sure you're viewing these arrows. Then lastly we have the roof imposed. Now this one is of course just for this top slab. So let's create it. Define it. I'm going to give it 2 kilopascals. Add it. Now it's populated it with these ones because I had already selected them, but that's not what I want. So I select all of them, just delete. I deselect everything by clicking on the model space. So roof imposed, actually I don't really need this selection tab. I can just select it from here on its own slab. So just want to pick an edge, yeah, like that. So it's edge 466, then I apply. So we've added all the loads, all the gravity loads especially. For the wind loads and the seismic loads, we'll do that in another video. So once we're done, we can go back to the geometry modeling layout. So this model has been loaded. To confirm, you can just go through the different loads here. So perhaps you want to check out, let's say, the flow finish. Then go down here, click on load symbols and load value description. So you can just scroll and check out the different loads. Of course the cell weight, you can't really see it. So let's add the load combinations. Just click this off. I want to see them right now. So for load combinations, you can go to loads. So you can have manual combinations or automatic combinations. If you click on automatic, this will create loads based on the code you're using. It will be automatic just to populate it with the combinations that are required. Now the options here, the first one, none or delete, is just to clear out in case you had created any kinds of combinations prior. So if you select on this, press OK, it will clear them out. Then full automatic, it will show you the number of combinations here it will create, 32. Simplified, it's going to estimate, then give you the number. In my case, it's going to take a while. Let me just move on to manual calculations. So it's going to do the same thing, but in our case we're going to use manual combinations. Now here I'm going to specify the combination type, it's ULS, then give it a name. I'm just going to give it, let's say, ultimate design, then OK. Just press OK. On this window, we're now going to assign the different load factors. So you can just filter out the load type. So as you can see, immediately I've changed it to dead load. It's going to give me 1.4 for the BS code. I can decide to edit it, perhaps 1.42 or 1.5, but I'll keep it 1.4. Then I assign them, clicking on this side. Then I go to dead loads, 1.6, send them, so they've been factored. Then I apply. So to create a new one, I'm going to create the serviceability one. So click on new and change the load type or the combination type. Let's say serviceability design, then OK. this case we're going to do it again. As you can see, the factor is 1. So if you press all, you realize there's also ultimate design here. So we're going to do that. We're going to just start with the individual ones, dead load, like that. Then go to live load, like that. Then I apply. So to check out the values of these loads on the structure, you can just select them here, ultimate design. Then turn on the load symbols and also the values. So you can see there's so many values. As I told you earlier, you can just move down the size of the fonts using page down, rather reduce it. This is for so many, it might, yeah, let's change the computer because I'm also recording. So we just close it, clear that out, clear that out. So that's how you create the load combinations, rather just a simple way of creating load combinations. The next video we look at now how to perform the analysis and how to do verifications. If you found this video useful, don't hesitate to like and subscribe to the channel for more videos. See you in the next video.